Would you spend $7,000 on a companion who would never argue with you, never cheat on you, never ask for a dowry, and could talk with you 24 hours a day? Before you call me crazy, look at the numbers. In 2024, China recorded only 6.106 million marriage registrations, the lowest level since 1980. Today, more than 200 million people in China are single, and the number of people living alone has surpassed 120 million. But do you know what exploded during the same year? The AI companion robot market. It's growing at more than 20% annually, and China now holds over 70% of the global market. You might think this is just a toy for lonely geeks. Wrong. In some nursing homes, elderly people spend every day calling out their late spouse's name into empty air. They've been doing it for years, and nobody answers. But a companion robot that remembers 3 months of conversations and responds to them costs only a fraction of hiring a full-time caregiver. And now, these robots have become shockingly realistic. This year, a company in Shanghai unveiled a humanoid robot with warm skin and a body temperature of 97 to 98 degrees Fahrenheit, 36 degrees Celsius. When you shake its hand, it feels almost exactly like holding a real person's hand. This industry is rewriting a market far bigger than most people realize. Think I'm exaggerating? Let's look at the facts. During this year's Spring Festival Gala, 4 robotics companies appeared on the same stage. Unitree's robot performed backflips and martial arts demonstrations. Another humanoid robot acted alongside famous comedian Kai Ming, displaying facial expressions so realistic that viewers struggled to tell the difference between machine and human. Its face contains dozens of tiny motors capable of producing incredibly subtle expressions. Within 2 hours of the broadcast, searches related to robots surged by more than 300%. But those were just athletic robots, machines that can dance and perform tricks. The truly unsettling development is happening somewhere else. Robots that look human, feel human, and even have human-like body temperature. A Shanghai company recently introduced a humanoid companion robot called Moya. It can smile, nod, blink, and maintain eye contact. The company claims its micro-expression system is the closest thing to a human face currently available. Moya stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighs about 70 pounds, and maintains a body temperature between 90 degrees Fahrenheit and 97 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 to 36 degrees Celsius. Its walking accuracy reportedly reaches 92%. What does that mean? If you saw it in a shopping mall, your first thought probably wouldn't be, "That's a robot." It would be, "Who is that woman?" Only when you got closer would something start to feel off. Because it's looking at you. And behind those eyes are cameras. Those cameras track your face, analyze your expressions, and maintain eye contact. While you're looking at it, it's studying you too. That uneasy feeling has a name, the uncanny valley. More than 50 years ago, Japanese roboticist Masahiro Mori proposed the theory. He argued that when something looks about 70 to 80% human, people find it charming. But once realism exceeds 90% without reaching 100%, our brains begin to reject it. We can no longer decide whether we're looking at a human or a machine. The result is a deep sense of discomfort. And right now, Chinese robotics companies are intentionally pushing us straight into that valley. One robotics founder put it this way: "A robot that truly serves human life should have warmth. It should feel almost alive." Moya is expected to enter limited pre-sales in late 2026. Only 50 units will be available initially, with prices ranging from 1.2 million to 1.5 million yuan. You might be thinking, who can afford that? Hold on, that's only the high-end version. Another company is taking a completely different approach. They developed a humanoid robot called Ivada Eye. While Moya targets institutions and luxury buyers, Ivada Eye is designed for consumers. Its skin consists of 3 layers. The first is a graphene thermal regulation system that maintains a constant temperature of 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 degrees Celsius. The second is flexible electronic skin capable of sensing touch pressure and temperature changes. The third is an ultra-realistic synthetic outer layer that closely resembles human skin. It can even simulate breathing. Its chest rises and falls rhythmically. What's even more interesting is that its cameras aren't hidden behind the eyes. Most humanoid robots suffer from what many people call the dead fisheye effect because the lenses sit directly behind the eyeballs. Ivada Eye hides its vision system inside glasses and decorative accessories. As a result, its eyes appear more natural, expressive, and alive. When it looks at you, you don't feel watched. You feel noticed. The robot sells for roughly 50,000 yuan. The first 200 units were offered through a crowdfunding campaign. And this isn't some amateur project. Its facial designer previously worked on realistic characters for Marvel films. Its motion engineering team includes graduates from Tsinghua University. Its emotional AI director holds a PhD from the University of Washington. Call it a toy if you want. Its development team is stronger than the technical staff of many publicly traded companies. Even more interesting is the concept they introduced. The fourth relationship. What does that mean? It's not family. It's not friendship. It's not romance. It's an entirely new form of emotional connection, one without pressure, rejection, or expectations. Psychologists helped design the system. The goal isn't to make people dependent on the robot. The goal is to help users achieve greater emotional stability. Sounds impossible? As of July 2025, more than 120 AI companion apps had already launched worldwide. Combined downloads exceeded 220 million. Some analysts predict that the AI companionship market could grow from roughly $30 million today to $150 billion by 2030. Think about what that means. Loneliness is being priced. For over 120 million people living alone, the most valuable thing isn't functionality. It's the feeling of being remembered. After talking with an AI for 3 months, it remembers why you were upset after working overtime. It remembers your favorite thriller movies. It remembers you're allergic to cats. Your roommate might not remember any of that. When a machine understands you better than the people around you, how much potential does that market have? Where there's demand, there's a market. Where there's a market, there's competition. And China has already established a massive advantage in this race. Chinese companies account for more than 80% of global humanoid robot shipments. Industry insiders believe 2026 will be the first true year of mass-produced humanoid robots. Major robotics companies are racing toward IPOs. Several startups have already reached multi-billion-dollar valuations. By early 2026, reports suggested that China had produced at least 4 robotics unicorns valued at over 10 billion yuan each. But before you get too excited, here's a reality check. One robotics company once valued at over 20 billion yuan reportedly saw multiple branches shut down and offices emptied. This industry is not a guaranteed gold mine. It's an elimination tournament. Some analysts estimate that roughly 80% of robot manufacturers are still experimenting and searching for viable business models. The next wave of consolidation has already begun. So let's return to the original question. Would you buy a Moya for over 1 million yuan? Or an Evada I for 50,000 yuan? Maybe you think it's still too early. But consider this. In 2025, China recorded 6.76 million marriage registrations. That's about 10% higher than the previous year. Yet every younger generation is smaller than the one before it. The total population pool continues to shrink. And that trend isn't likely to reverse anytime soon. So when a machine can remember every word you say, when its skin feels warm, when its eyes follow you, when its breathing syncs with yours, tell me, is this technological progress? Or humanity's final form of loneliness? Let me know your answer in the comments. Are people overthinking it? Or has the world fundamentally changed?